Assalamu alaikum students. How are you? Mrs. Talut Khushnud here. Today we are going to do the topic compare and contrast writing. Students, you know that we have already discussed in essay writing different patterns of essay writing, and approximately there are 9 patterns of essay writing or essay development. We have already discussed description, narration, exposition, and argumentation. These are 4 major types of writing. And so far as exposition writing is concerned, in this sort of writing, the writer provides information about and explains a particular subject. Patterns of development within exposition includes giving examples, detailing a process of doing or making something, analyzing causes and effects, compare and contrasting, defining a term or concept, and dividing something into parts of classifying. So, compare and contrast is a form of exposition writing or expository writing. So, students, today we are concerned with the topic comparison and contrast writing. As it is quite clear from the topic, comparison and contrast means to compare and to make a contrast. In comparison and contrast writing, the students have to compare two things, problems, events, or ideas, and evaluate their resemblances and differences. Obviously, comparison and contrast is possible only when there are two parallel things or two equal sort of problems or equal types of events or ideas are there. आप किसी चीज़ को उसी वक्त कंपेयर या उसका आपस में मुकाबला या तकाबली जायज़ा ले सकते हैं या उनको कंट्रास्ट या कंट्रास्ट शो कर सकते हैं जब दो एक जैसी चीज़ें आपके सामने मौजूद होती हैं. सो this is necessary in this writing, that there must be two same types of things or problems or events or ideas. This type of essay advances and develops your critical thinking as well as your argumentation and understanding of the importance of events and things that you compare. Students, here are given some examples of some topics where comparison and contrast parts should be included. Every topic cannot be a topic where you can compare or contrast. So compare करने के लिए या contrast शो करने के लिए ऐसी सिचुएशन का होना ज़रूरी है कि जिसकी का कंपैरिजन किया जा सके. So look at the first topic, hatred and love. How these topics are treated in Hamlet. Students, Hamlet was a play that was written by Shakespeare, and in this topic, it's one of the great tragedies of the world till now. So उसके अंदर अगर आपने उसके बारे में सुना है या आपको कोई आइडिया है उस प्ले के बारे में, तो देन यू कैन जज हाउ these two emotions, hatred and love, were treated in that play. So you should have a prior knowledge about the topic. आप किसी भी टॉपिक पे उसी वक्त लिख सकते हैं जब आपके पास उसकी नॉलेज मौजूद हो. आपने उसको उस चीज़ को, फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल यहाँ पे आपको एक प्ले का या एक ड्रामा, शेक्सपियरियन ड्रामा का एक आइडिया दिया जा रहा है, तो जब तक आपने उसे देखा या पढ़ा नहीं होगा आप इन आइडियाज़ को डिस्कस नहीं कर सकते. सो मूव टू द नेक्स्ट टॉपिक, that is about two historians, how two main historians. We have defined the term taught. The next topic is compare the programs to reduce the levels of pollution in New York and Los Angeles. Which one is more effective? This is a comparison of the programs about the reduction of pollution in two big cities of America, New York and Los Angeles. Next is comparison and contrast in different projects, etc. So, how can you make a plan to write such sort of essay? Let's see. As we have mentioned earlier, the contrast compare essay is a specific type of an essay. That is why the composing of the type of an essay might differ from the other ones. The following are several methods of organizing and designing this type of an essay. On what levels we can make a comparison or we can describe a contrast. Two levels are given there here, item by item or point by point. We'll discuss these two topics one by one. Item by item comparison or contrast. First, list all informations on the first subject of comparison. Then you should go further and list all points of another subject of comparison. हाँ जी, आइटम बाय आइटम में आप क्या करेंगे कि आप पहले उन दोनों में से किसी एक को लेंगे और उसकी पूरी इंफॉर्मेशन जो है उसको डिस्क्राइब करेंगे एंड आफ्टर दैट you will take the second one and then describe the whole information about that topic. This item to item comparison is frequently used when you design so-called lens comparison. In this assignment, you are asked to use one thing for better understanding of another. In this case, you should describe in nutshell the main points on the first thing and then move on discussing how the points mentioned are similar or different to another thing. So this was the comparison or contrasting item by item, and the next is point by point comparison and contrast. This method is used to compare each point of this object rather than describe one thing at a time. For example, if you are assigned to compare two sport venues, your first paragraph might comprise the comparison of their locations. मीन्स कि आप हर पैराग्राफ में एक टॉपिक को लेकर दोनों चीज़ों की कंपैरिजन या कंट्रास्ट कर सकते हैं. फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल, अगर आप किसी स्पोर्ट्स वेन्यू के बारे में लिख रहे हैं तो फर्स्ट ऑफ योर पैराग्राफ्स कैन बी अबाउट द लोकेशन, comparing and contrasting about the locations of those two sport venues about which you are writing. Your second one can be devoted to the description of the designs of the venues. फर्स्ट वन में आपने उसके लोकेशन को डिस्कस किया एंड द सेकेंड पॉइंट में आप उसके डिज़ाइंस को डिस्कस कर सकते हैं. एंड देन इन द थर्ड पैराग्राफ यू मे डिस्क्राइब sports events that these venues host. So in this way you can make a very comprehensible compare and contrast about the two sports venues. There is not any universal rule in designing to compare or contrast essay. Certainly it should be logical, it should be comprehensive and consistent structure. Students, To make it more understandable for you, look at the topics that are suitable for your comparison and contrast writings. हम 3 ऐसे टॉपिक्स को यहाँ पे देखते हैं जो आपको कंपैरिजन एंड कंट्रास्ट ऐसे राइटिंग का आइडिया देंगे और इसको ज़्यादा क्लियरली आप समझ सकेंगे. फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल, you are about to enter a university. You have visited a lot of open days and you are not quite sure about your ultimate decision. There are two major universities you like the most. Compare and contrast about these two educational establishments. ठीक है. The next situation is, for example, you are going to your summer vacation and you have already chosen the program. You have already chosen a gorgeous resort for your vacation, but hesitate about the kind of transport you'll take for your trip. So you are not quite sure what way of traveling is more comfortable and suitable, a bus or an airplane. So compare and contrast these two means of transportation. फर्स्ट वन में आपने देखा कि आपने एक इंस्टीट्यूट को चूज़ करने के लिए बहुत सारे इंस्टीट्यूट्स को विज़िट किया. फिर उसके बाद उनमें से कोई दो जो हैं मोर सूटेबल आपको नज़र आ रहे हैं. आपने उन दोनों की कंपैरिजन एंड कंट्रास्ट करना है. एंड द सेकंड वन में आपने बेटर और मोर सूटेबल ट्रांसपोर्टेशन को चूज़ करना है. एंड द थर्ड सिचुएशन इज़, your parents are going to move to the country. Country here means a rural area that is away from the big city. You strongly object to it. For this purpose, you make the comparative and contrast analysis of living in a big city or a city with living in a country. इसमें this is the best example for you, and you must have also read or prepare your essay on the topic life in a big city, or life in a big city and versus life in a village. कि शहर की लाइफ और एक गांव या एक दूर दराज एरियाज़ की लाइफ में क्या फ़र्क है. कंपैरिजन एंड कंट्रास्ट, how can you can make between these two places. So this is a best example of a comparison and contrast essay. So this was your topic for today, students. Okay then, Allah Hafiz.